knows. She knows.
In 2009, 15-year-old Justin Bieber spent 48 hours alone with 40-year-old P. Diddy, after which, a couple of years later, Justin began to have panic attacks, drug addiction, and mental problems. What actually happened during these 2 days? Now P. Diddy is accused of murder, rape parties, shootings, and human trafficking. P. Diddy is a monster, because of whom many innocent people have been killed. In this video I will tell you about all the crimes of P. Diddy. Subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
The latest on the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking charges.
Already in school time, Diddy started to organize parties, where he crossed the line of what was allowed, could grope girls against their consent, was aggressive, and many were afraid of him. Since childhood, Diddy wanted to be the best. In 1993, Diddy founded his own label called Bad Boy Records. He signed Biggie, and it was his best decision. Biggie's debut album was the greatest. The artist brought a lot of money and popularity to the label. Thus Diddy became more successful and richer. Time passed and Diddy was still hot-tempered. He felt impunity and therefore one day attacked a girl in the office of his label and began to beat her. Somehow former employees pulled Diddy away from the girl. Another employee was sexually assaulted. Diddy attacked the girl right in the parking lot, forced her to kneel and perform oral sex on him. In 1994, a real feud began between two rappers, Biggie and Tupac. Tupac accused Diddy and Biggie of attacking him, after which they called each other names and insulted each other in their songs. For absolutely the entire 1995, Tupac recorded anti-promotion songs on all artists of Diddy's label. As a result, the conflict between the two rappers escalated into a war. For Diddy, the reputation of his company was above all else, so for him there are no boundaries between what is permitted. On September 7, 1996, an unknown person in a white Cadillac shot Tupac Shakur 4 times in the chest, from which the rapper died 6 days later. Even former police detectives accused Diddy of killing Tupac, but the rapper himself denies this information. Biggie wanted to leave the label. He said that he was tired and wanted to make music alone. Biggie was sure that he would leave, but unfortunately Biggie was shot. Many evidences claim that this was also the work of P. Diddy. One of the most serious allegations was Combs' involvement in sex parties known as freak-offs, where women were drugged and then raped. Sources say the events lasted for days, with victims requiring medical attention afterward. This is Susie Perez. She participated in P. Diddy's videos and was one of the brightest models of the 2000s. A couple of years later Susie disappeared. She was found decades later. As it turned out, she signed a contract with a modeling agency, which was run by representatives of the Italian mafia. For 3 years, the girl was raped and drugged every day. On the internet they said that this was the work of P. Diddy, but the model herself never said anything specific. Diddy had a wife, Kim. They were married for 13 years. During their marriage the couple had 3 children. It is alleged that Kim once came across a sexually explicit video of Diddy and young children. Kim made copies of the tapes to protect herself, claiming that they contained information that she could not even imagine. Shortly after the tapes were discovered, a perfectly healthy 47-year-old Kim dies. A coincidence? Or was this the work of Diddy? In late December 1999, Combs and his bad boy signee Jamal Shine Barrow were partying at Club New York when Diddy knocked a drink out of Matthew Scar Allen's hands. Allen got into an argument with Combs and someone threw money in Combs' face. Allen also threatened to kill Shine. Prosecutors allege that amid the fray, all 3 men drew guns, and Shine shot 3 times in the crowded club. 3 people were shot. Combs, who was arrested with 2 9mm guns in his car, was charged with 4 weapons charges and for bribing his driver to claim that the guns were his own. A witness at the trial said she saw both Shine and Combs shoot their weapons, but Combs was acquitted on all charges.
I want to say to you all face to face, I had nothing to do with a shooting that night in a nightclub.
While Shine was found guilty of 5 of his 8 charges and was sentenced to 10 years in prison. In November 2023, Sean Combs was accused of rape and abuse by his former partner, recording artist Cassie. The singer, whose legal name is Cassandra Ventura, filed a civil complaint in federal court on November 16 in New York City alleging that Combs raped and physically abused her, including instances of beating her throughout the course of their relationship. Ventura was held down by Mr. Combs and endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands, the complaint said. The complaint claimed Combs used illegal substances and threats of violence to force Ms. Ventura into repeated unwanted sexual encounters with male sex workers. The complaint further alleged that Combs blew up the car of rapper Kid Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Muscudi, after Combs learned that he was romantically interested in Ventura. In a statement to the New York Times, A spokesperson for Muscudi confirmed the account, saying, "This is all true." On March 25, 2024, Homeland Security Investigations, a department which often leads investigations of sex trafficking charges, deployed agents to search Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami via search warrants issued by the Southern District of New York. The searches followed the multiple lawsuits against Combs alleging sexual assault, sex trafficking, and distribution of illegal drugs and arms. NBC News reported that firearms were discovered at the residences and that officials seized his cell phones. 1,000 baby oils were also found, which were used in numerous orgies. The music business mogul engaged in a persistent and pervasive pattern of abuse toward women and other individuals, according to an indictment unsealed Tuesday. Detailing allegations stretching back to 2009, the indictment accuses him of abusing, threatening and coercing women for years to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. The indictment details that Combs allegedly manipulated women to participate in highly orchestrated performances of sexual activity with male commercial sex workers. The indictment also says that Combs allegedly arranged for women and sex workers to fly to him and allegedly coerced the women into participating in sex acts by giving them drugs, controlling their careers, leveraging his financial support and threatening to cut off the same, and using intimidation and violence. When Usher was 13, he signed a contract with P. Diddy and went to live with him in New York for a year. Usher, who headlined the 2024 Super Bowl halftime show in February and also recently released his latest album, Coming Home, has claimed in previous interviews that Reed sent him to Diddy's home in Scarsdale, New York, dubbing the experience Flavor Camp. In a 2004 interview with Rolling Stone, Usher recalled how Diddy introduced him to a totally different set of sex, specifically. "Sex is so hot in the industry, man," he continued, claiming, "there was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen." Years later, when Usher was promoting his 2016 film Hands of Stone, in which he starred opposite Robert De Niro and Edgar Ramirez, he appeared on The Howard Stern Show where he was also questioned about his experiences at Diddy's home. Describing it as pretty wild, Usher said he witnessed curious things and emphasized that this was the 90s. "Do you understand what that's like? I went there to see the lifestyle," he continued, "and I saw it, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild. It was crazy. There were very curious things taking place and I didn't necessarily understand it." "You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to a puffy camp?" Stern asked him. "Hell no," Usher replied. In 2009, 15-year-old Justin Bieber spent 48 hours alone with 40-year-old P. Diddy. What happened then and why did Justin start to be afraid of Diddy? A video was posted on the internet where Diddy asks why Justin doesn't call him, to which Bieber starts to stutter and seems to be afraid of something.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
And in his video for the song Yummy, Justin lets us know that when he was a teenager, he was a dessert for producers. The whole video they eat dessert, and at the end of the video under the dessert Justin Bieber as a child. And in the backstage of the video Justin was worried a lot and didn't look like himself. It was emotionally very hard for him to remember this. Beyonce and Jay-Z were also involved in PD's dirty deeds. They removed everyone who got in their way, and PD helped them with this.
Beyonce, how you guys ended Carrie Hilson's career because she said something about you. That's how hateful you guys are. You step on anybody to stay on the top.
If you want a video about Beyonce and Jay-Z where I tell all the horrible things about them and their connection to P. Diddy, write about it in the comments and like this video, subscribe to the channel, put a bell on all notifications. See you in new videos, bye.